Hello and welcome to this episode of Living Word. Before we begin, I suggest you read Genesis 3 and that you like and subscribe to this channel. So, in this chapter of Genesis, Adam and the woman sin, which separates them from God. They are banished from the Garden of Eden, and them and their descendants must pay the consequences for their sin. First of all, we have to understand that the tree of knowledge of good and evil was not bad. It was just forbidden. So why would God even put something forbidden within the reach of Adam and the woman if he didn't want them to take it? Well, God wanted to see their obedience, because obedience is not obedience if you don't have the choice of whether to obey or not obey. Let me give you an example to clarify a little bit. If I tell, Bob, that he can't eat any chocolate today, and then I take all the chocolate within his reach away from him, and he doesn't eat chocolate that day, it's not because he obeyed me, it's because I didn't give him any choice.
Because you've given me no choice!
But if I tell Bob that he can't eat chocolate today, and I put his favorite chocolate on the table, and then walk away, and he doesn't eat the chocolate, that's obedience. He had a choice of eating the chocolate, but he decided not to. Leaving all chocolate aside, not eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil was a sign of obedience to God. It was also an act of trust in God. If I trust God, then I will obey him, even if I can't understand why he is asking me to do something. So the serpent that deceived the woman in Genesis is Satan. As Revelations 12:9 says, the ancient serpent called the devil or Satan, the one deceiving the whole world. The serpent was the means that Satan used to infiltrate himself into the Garden of Eden and provoke sin. Now we're going to talk about 4 strategies that the serpent used in the Garden of Eden. Number 1 is vulnerability. The serpent approached the woman when she was alone and without Adam. Number 2 is that he found out what the woman knew. The serpent asked the woman in Genesis 3:1, "Did God really say you must not eat the fruit from any of the trees in the garden?" This is funny because he clearly already knew what God had said. He just wanted to hear from the woman what she understood that God had said. And then he also asked the question in a very distorted way. He says, "Oh, you can't eat from any of the trees, right?" Which leads us to strategy number 3, which is distortion of the truth. Or in other words, lies. The serpent tells the woman that she will not die. Although their physical death was not instant, what was instant was their spiritual death. When God's spirit separates from man's spirit, the spirit of the man dies. God is the source of life. So when we separate ourselves from him, we die spiritually. Strategy number 4 is that he appealed to the woman's desires. So the serpent says in Genesis 3:5, God knows that your eyes will be opened as soon as you eat it, and you will be like God. The serpent inserted ideas of greatness and egocentric benefits into the mind of the woman. The sad part is that they were already like God. They were made in his image and likeness. But the serpent made his offer sound so appealing, even if what they already had was awesome. So these strategies are still strategies that Satan uses today. He infiltrates himself in your moments of vulnerability, and he figures out things about you to know where to hit you the hardest. He lies, and he paints a picture of apparent greatness and beauty that in real life lead to death and destruction.